Vacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All glories to the assembled devotees. Welcome back. It's very exciting to be joined together again for Bhadra Purnima. And it's a continuation of Srila Prabhupada's intense desire that he had when he was on the Jaladuta. Imagine coming all by himself, but he didn't feel alone because he was directly connected to the order of his spiritual master to bring the transcendental message to the West. That's exciting. Not knowing what was going to happen when he got there, except he knew that the power of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the holy names, is undeniable. And on the Jaladuta he wrote in a beseeching way that Krishna, please empower me to do this. And when we have this sense that I'm helpless, but I want to follow the order of my guru, I want to follow the order of the Guru Parampara, and we're praying for it, then we're in a liberated condition. There is no other safety in this world other than taking shelter of the order of the Guru Parampara. And Srila Prabhupada then writes on the Jaladuta, the words of the Srimad Bhagavatam are your direct incarnation. If a sober person regularly listens to them with submissive oral reception, then, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses inauspicious desires for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who relishes his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. And Prabhupada quotes the other verses that follow that one, and then he says, they will become liberated from the influence of the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of the heart will be dissolved. Our campaign now is vital. It always has been vital, but if we see the condition of the world, there's no remedy that anyone can offer or that anyone is offering anywhere. We have the medicine, the exact and perfect message of Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirmed it, that it's perfect in all ways. So we have the greatest occupation, which is distributing the medicine. And we can keep this mood that Prabhupada had, that it's the only way to save the world, is to free people from the lower modes of nature and elevate them to Krishna consciousness by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. It's the most worthy occupation to put our energy into. So we're rallying again, praying for Lord Chaitanya's mercy, praying for Prabhupada's mercy, and coming together as one global team to share this divine service. It's the way that we come together in absolute purpose and clarity that this has to be done. It's urgent, and we have to do it together. So today we're joining together several continents so that we can again hear the vibration that brings us alive. That vibration is the sound that comes from those who are empowered to spread the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. And one of my shelters in this world, a person that I've tried to emulate and follow for many years, one day seeing him in the Vrindavan temple, just standing there, I thought, someday I'd like to be like him. He's helped to spread the book distribution movement all over India. He came from America, but then settled in India, and then through his empowerment, buses began. He followed the same principle that the devotees were doing in America with the Radha Damodar party. And there's not, if you wake him up at 1 o'clock in the morning, he'll be ready to talk about strategy for book distribution. If he gets a little cut on his arm, he'll bleed book distribution. And that's my very dear godbrother, Bhima Prabhu, who's always front and center for these campaigns. So we're trying to save Earth now. And here's the voice of someone who knows how to do it. So we invite His Grace Bhima Prabhu to please help us rally together to hit our goal, which this year means we're gonna do 23% more on the globe than we did last year. We were able to achieve 35,000 sets of Bhagavatams last year, which is called a very good start. And this year we're going for 43,000, 23% increase. Bhima Prabhu, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Prabhuji. All glories
Hare
to
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada.
Glories
Accept
to
my
Prabhupada.
obeisances.
Please accept mine.
Vaisheshika Prabhu is the really inspiring person in this whole arrangement of things. He has certainly done so much for inspiring me in my Krishna consciousness and my service. And I'm sure you all have the same experience. Yeah, it's an ambitious goal to increase by 23%. But let's try. The first year that we participated in India in the Bhadra Purnima campaign, it was only the Bombay temple. We did 35 sets. And see how it's expanded since then. Now, I think last year, over 100 temples submitted their scores of Bhagavatam sets. And it was a phenomenal number of 25,000 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. So as emulating Vyasadeva, here he had, put all the Vedas and given all the Vedas, and he realized that in the future, people are going to be less spiritually inclined. So he gave the essence of the Vedas in the Mahabharata, especially one chapter of the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. But so he was feeling, he had done so much, and he was feeling well equipped, but still feeling incomplete. And verse from the first canto, chapter 4, text number 30, he says, I'm feeling incomplete, though I myself am fully equipped with everything required by the Vedas. He had performed tapasya, he had great knowledge, written down all the Vedas, divided them into 4 units so people could better understand, given the Mahabharata, the Upanishads, and he had so many followers, disciples, but still he was feeling something missing. And he actually realized what it was. But so in the same way, we may, be going among Lartik, following the regulated principles, chanting our 16 rounds, and memorizing a few shlokas, feeling well equipped. I know all the devotees, and I've been around for a while, and I have a few positions under my belt. but there's still something missing. And I think Vaisheshika Prabhu hit that on the head. This idea of giving. We have gotten so much from Srila Prabhupada. But in order to assimilate it, in order to appreciate it, we have to give it back. And one statement Srila Prabhupada makes in that same purport to First Canto, Chapter 4, text number 30, he says that purification of the living being submerged in matter is made possible by the prescribed activities of the Vedas. But the ultimate achievement is different. Unless it is attained, the living entity, even though fully equipped, cannot be situated in cannot be situated in the transcendentally normal stage. Srila Vyasadeva appeared to have lost the clue and therefore felt dissatisfaction. Transcendentally normal stage. What a mind-blowing statement Srila Prabhupada made, the transcendentally normal stage. So the next verse, Srila Vyasadeva clearly says, I'm feeling despondent because I haven't given them the process of devotional service. I haven't delineated that. Therefore, I'm feeling despondent. So right now, we're transcendently in an abnormal stage. Transcendent, materially, we may be situated okay. We have so many different things given to us by Srila Prabhupada to be stabilized in materially speaking and spiritually speaking. But still there's something missing. And Vyasadeva hit the nail on the head when he said, I haven't given. We need to give the message of the Srimad Bhagavatam to each and every person. Everyone should have a set of Bhagavatams in their homes so that they will be transcendentally normal, situated normally. In other words, understanding that I'm the eternal servant of Krishna. I'm meant to serve Krishna 24 hours a day. Once Srila Prabhupada said, sannyas means serving Krishna 24 hours a day. So getting to that transcendentally normal stage is concomitant with having a desire to give people Srimad Bhagavatam, to give people the opportunity to understand their normal constitutional position as the eternal servant of Krishna. So Narad came on the scene and confirmed what Vyasadeva suspected. And that just shows us that the spiritual master is always required to confirm and to help and to guide. And giving Srimad Bhagavatam is giving Srila Prabhupada, all the different parampara devotees, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, the associates of Lord Chaitanya, giving them all to the conditioned soul to help them become situated transcendentally normal. And that means to know that Krishna is God, be convinced, to have some firm faith that whatever else happens, I will serve Krishna. That nishta, that feeling of confidence in the service of Krishna can happen when the devotee takes the time to give the knowledge to other people. And there's no better way to give that knowledge to other people than distributing Srimad Bhagavatam. So this great opportunity has come to us. We have a great leader. In India, we have Jayapata, His Holiness Jayapata Goswami, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, His Holiness Lokanath Swami, and so many other great leaders are there in India. And on the global, we have His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu to guide us. We're on the right side. It's like in the battle of Kurukshetra, those who were on Krishna's side were on the right side. We're on the right side in this great battle against Maya, against illusion. And the illusions in our own hearts, whenever we think that we're something other than the servant of Krishna, whenever we think that there's something to do other than spreading Krishna consciousness, this is the enemy. But we have the great generals leading us, and it's just a matter of us to choose that, yes, I will follow and their good example and try to do something to spread Krishna consciousness and thus please Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees, and also Krishna, who's there within our hearts, patiently waiting for us to take up the challenge and move forward towards becoming transcendentally normal. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hari Hari Bo. I'm starting to feel it, a little transcendentally normal now. Thanks, Bhima Prabhu. It's great to see you, as usual.
I'm still in the special school district, the special bus, the special education.
No, I love the transition you made from Srila Vyasadeva and how we may also be doing everything, but not feel transcendentally normal. There's another ingredient. There's a higher level, which is to really be involved. There's a sociological phenomenon, and it's called diffusion of responsibility. That phenomena is defined like this. Diffusion of responsibility refers to the fact that as the number of bystanders increases, the personal responsibility that an individual bystander feels decreases. Like if somebody is lying there and then there's lots of people tend to think, let somebody else deal with it. So the way to overcome that, as we're doing this project as a team, is everyone take some personal responsibility and realize that everything counts. When we make a goal individually or as a small unit, like a community, through agreement, we say, commit to something, a unit, a number that is something more than 0 and not less than 1. And as soon as you commit to it and say, I'm going to take responsibility for distributing a Srimad Bhagavatam set or a number of Srimad Bhagavatam sets, and you write that down, then your life changes in that second, and you come into a more transcendently normal stage than you were 2 seconds before you wrote it down. And that's one of the most important aspects of this campaign that we're doing together. It's what it makes of us as a world movement to commit to doing this. Prabhupada committed. He committed to spreading Krishna consciousness, and he didn't have any help, but actually he did. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was right behind him, and he's right behind us too. Every time we increase the goal, we always feel a little bit nervous because we think, well, how are we going to do it this time? How is Lord? We did it last time because of certain circumstances, but how could it be repeated? And I would argue that this is the real life of the Krishna consciousness movement. It's being in that gap between making our goal and then wondering, when is Lord Chaitanya going to come and save us and help us hit the goal? Because we can't live without reaching our goal. So this book distribution is the great uniting feature of the Krishna consciousness movement. There are a lot of things that we can feel that we have differences on, but book distribution is unassailable. And the Srimad Bhagavatam is the unassailable book of all Gaudiya Vaishnavas, all Vaishnavas everywhere around the world. So this can unite the world, it can save the world, It's the vibration that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said is most perfect that brings us back to transcendental normality. So we can feel free to take an individual responsibility in helping to advance this cause to hit our goal this year. What do you all think? Say
John.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Haribo. So somebody has their hand up, I believe, or they're just saying Haribo. Okay, so we're counting down the minutes to have an opportunity to see and hear from His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, whose presence inspires awe in the hearts of everyone all over the world. And we're finding that advocacy is a vital aspect of spreading Krishna consciousness. Sometimes leaders ask me, what can I do to help? Because oftentimes leaders, especially at an executive level, are engaged in multiple tasks all at the same time, otherwise known as multitasking. And they're thinking, well, how could I make a difference? Well, it comes through advocacy, which has the word vak in it. Just by what we say, we change our environment and we change the hearts of others. And it's something that all of us can do. Even if we can't personally distribute books, if we advocate for it and say, this is a good idea, everyone say, this is a good idea.
This is a great idea.
And you just tell people in your family, this is a good idea. What do you think? If you tell people in your community, this is a great idea. And if you tell it to the world, you just advocate for it and say, this is good, we should do it. It changes people's hearts. They start thinking, well, then how can I help? And it's in that transformation of heart where people think, wow, maybe I can be part of this, that they come to transcendental normality also. And another feature of this marathon is that it brings up all the other aspects of our Krishna consciousness movement, that it lifts them up. There's a saying that a rising tide lifts all boats. And this is one of the great aspects of book distribution that Prabhupada noted in his 7 purposes of ISKCON. He said that the 7th purpose was to print books, periodicals, magazines, and distribute them. And by doing that, we would fulfill the first 6 principles or purposes of ISKCON. So this is the service that helps us bring all the other aspects or purposes of the Krishna consciousness movement to the fore and makes them viable. So as we're speaking, I see Haladar Rupa Prabhu in his camera. Molly Devi Dasi is driving a van. It looks like there's others in there, and I'm thinking they're going out on Sankirtan somewhere. Give me a thumbs up if that's the case. Yeah, they're heading out. There's no more beautiful sight than to see devotees heading out to their spot. Whenever we set out to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam, whether you're making a phone call or writing something a letter or going to a spot to offer it to people, there's this sense of adventure. And if you look at them driving in that van, can you see the picture? Maybe you can highlight them. Sorry, you guys. But that's the same kind of image of Prabhupada on the Jaladuta. You know, Prabhupada got on his boat and he was coming across the ocean and thinking, how am I going to do this? In fact, I heard a lecture where Prabhupada said, when you get an order of this from your spiritual master and you're not sure how you're going to do it, he said, then you should ask, how can I do? How can I do? How can I do? Keep asking that, praying for it. That's life. That's real transcendental That's our normal condition, to be fully dependent on Krishna. And this is something very specific. So you see, as they're driving that van, they don't know exactly how they're going to do it or who they're going to meet today when they go out to present Srimad Bhagavatam. They just know that they're following the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they feel like they're with Prabhupada on the Jaladuta while they're driving in that van. I think they're going to a special neighborhood where they're going to go door to door, and they're going to knock on the door. And when the people open the door, they're just going to present Srimad Bhagavatam and say, you should take this. They're going to advocate for it. They'll use their voice to tell people, and they'll show the Bhagavatam. And what's going to happen? Some kind of miracle is going to happen, and they're going to report about it tomorrow. So if you want to live in miracles, that's how to do it. So we have some really big news, and that is His Holiness Jaipataka Swami has entered the Zoom room. Haribo!
Yeah.
So we're just checking with his secretary to see when he'll be ready to give us his darshan.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories
Jai Haribo! Our life
Maharaj
is coming back to us now that we heard your voice. Are you ready?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Please feel free to bring Maharaj in.
Yes, good man. Just adjusting the camera.
All right. Obeisances to Prabhupada.
I offer my obeisances to Srila Prabhupada.
Hello. Thank you. So
Recording in progress.
this year we every year we like to observe the special Bhadra Purnima opportunity.
So this year, like every year, we like to observe this special Bhadra Purnima opportunity.
And I was just reading in Mayapur how Parikshit Maharaj, the grandson of Arjuna,
We were just reading in Mayapur how Parikshit Maharaj, the grandson of Arjuna,
he sacrificed his life so you have the Srimad Bhagavatam.
he sacrificed his life so that you can have the Srimad Bhagavatam.
So Arjuna, he was put in illusion. So Bhagavad Gita was manifested.
Arjuna, he was put into illusion so that the Bhagavad Gita will be manifested.
And his grandson, Parikshit Maharaj, he heard the Bhagavatam in 7 days and 7 nights.
And his grandson, Parikshit Maharaj, he heard the Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days and 7 nights.
7 nights.
7 nights.
We don't know when we're going to leave.
We don't know when we are going to leave.
Today I heard that one of my dear disciples, Anandi Jagannath Das in Bengaluru, he left his body last night.
Today I heard that one of my very dear disciple, Anadi Jagannath Das in Bangalore, he left his body last night.
And we don't know when we're going to leave.
So, and we don't know when we are going to leave.
But Parikshit knew he had 7 days.
But Parikshit Maharaj knew that he had 7 days.
And he heard the Srimad Bhagavatam in 7 days and 7 nights.
And he heard the Srimad Bhagavatam in 7 days and 7 nights.
And so if people can take the Bhagavatam and put it in their house,
And people, they can take the Bhagavatam and put in their house.
that's a wonderful thing.
That's a wonderful thing.
Actually, Gita and Bhagavad are kind of literary incarnations of the Lord.
Actually, Gita and Bhagavatam are the literary incarnations of the Lord.
Bhagavatam is spoken about Krishna.
Bhagavatam has spoken about Krishna.
So if we can distribute sets of Bhagavatam, then people can easily achieve perfection in their life.
If we can distribute the sets of Bhagavatam, then people can easily achieve perfection in their lives.
Giving all the substance of its Vedic literature, the Srimad Bhagavatam,
By giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, this Srimad Bhagavatam,
which is the ripened fruit of the Vedic tree,
which is considered to be the ripened fruit of the Vedic tree,
then we will all get the divine perfection of human life.
then we will all get divine perfection of human life.
Lord Chaitanya said, Bharati Janma Hiraja, Janma Sata Kore Korporo.
Lord Chaitanya said, Bharata Bhumi te Janma Manusya Janma hoila jar, Jivan Sartak Kori Koropa, Janma Sartak Kori Koro Paropakar.
So if you consider Bharat Bhumi to be India,
So you consider Bharat Bhumi to be India,
when we distribute all books, great number in India.
so then we should distribute all the books, great numbers in India.
Of course, in one sense, the whole planet used to be called by other planets as Bharadvaja.
So, of course, in one sense, this Earth planet is supposed to be called by other planets as Bharatavarsha.
So we want all the people and the whole planet to get purified, and we have the Bhagavatam set.
So we want all the people in this Earth planet to be purified by having the Bhagavatam set.
And they should also read it.
And they should also read it.
I saw one drama in Chennai.
I saw one drama in Chennai.
I told many times
I told this many times
that children playing Yamadutas,
children, they were playing the roles of Yamaduta,
and one was Yamaraj.
and one was Yamaraj.
So one thing they said,
One thing they said,
this is sure they have the people have sets of Bhagavatam in their house.
one thing they were saying, this ISKCON, they are having people to have sets of Bhagavatam in their house.
We can't go near their house.
We can't go near their house.
So especially we'll have a secret other job. we put out our business.
So we have to seek another job. We are being put out of business.
So I tell people, please give the Yamadutas a vacation.
So I tell the people, please give the Yamaduta a vacation.
So in one sense, if we can distribute more Srimad Bhagavatam sets,
So in one sense, we should distribute more and more Srimad Bhagavatam sets
give a vacation to Yamadutas.
to give vacation to the Yamadutas.
Hello. But that's one way of saying.
That's one way of saying.
Of course, if a person has a Bhagavatam set and reads it,
Of course, if a person has a Bhagavatam set and reads it,
his or her dormant love of Krishna awakens.
his or her dormant love of Krishna is awakened.
Immediately, that person is freed from material lamentation,
Immediately, that person is freed from material lamentation,
illusion, and fearfulness,
illusion, and fearfulness.
and in the heart, loving devotional service for Lord Sri Krishna sprouts up.
In their hearts, loving devotional service to Lord Krishna sprouts up.
So, Srimad Bhagavatam is a miracle book.
So Srimad Bhagavatam is a miracle book.
What's our goal for this year?
What's the goal for this year? 43,000 Srila Guru Maharaj.
Nice goal.
Nice goal.
What did we do last year?
What did you do last year, Prabhuji?
35,000. Maharaj, we're gonna show you the maps like we usually do. We're gonna show you the whole thing in a PowerPoint. And there's a system. We have an idea for the next 5 years how to get to 100,000 sets. And I'll show you the progression and how we're going to achieve it together.
We'll do it.
We are going to do it.
Hari Hari Bol. May we show you the
Last year was that video. You can do it or something.
Last year the video was you can do it or something like that, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, this year the theme is Save Earth Now, because we felt that the earth is in such peril and people don't know what to do. We have the medicine.
Theme is save the earth now.
Save Earth Now.
Save earth now.
Very good.
Very good.
Maybe, yes.
The Srimad Bhagavatam can definitely save the earth.
The Srimad Bhagavatam can definitely save the earth.
We should dedicate ourselves to distributing and reading the Srimad Bhagavatam.
So we should dedicate ourselves for distributing and reading the Srimad Bhagavatam.
I think encouraging my disciples and all the devotees to get their Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta degrees.
I've been encouraging all my disciples and all the others to get the Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta degrees.
By reading Srimad Bhagavatam, by reading every canto of Srimad Bhagavatam,
By reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, by reading every canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam,
by getting association with Krishna,
we are getting association with Krishna.
arguing a question and answer with my group from the Middle East.
I'm giving question and answer with my group
From the Middle East.
from the Middle East
And Southern California.
and from San Diego, California.
And they're right confused. I mean, how can we directly talk with the Supreme Personality of Godhead?
They're very confused. How can we directly talk with the Supreme Personality of Godhead?
The concept that God is impersonal,
The concept, the God is impersonal,
or you cannot talk to Him.
you cannot talk to Him.
And Bhagavatam shows so many occasions where the devotees talk with the Supreme Lord.
And the Bhagavatam shows so many occasions where the devotees, they talk to the Supreme Lord.
So, in this way, Srimad Bhagavatam is kind of a revolution.
So in this way, the Srimad Bhagavatam is a kind of a revolution.
We don't want to, I'm not saying people should convert or anything,
We are not saying people should convert or anything,
but they should know the Bhagavatam.
but they should know the
The
Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam was written 5,000 years ago before any other religion was existing in the world.
Bhagavatam was written 5,000 years ago before any other religions were existing on the earth.
So if people don't understand the science of Bhagavatam,
So if people can understand the science of Srimad Bhagavatam,
we can really understand everything.
they can really understand everything.
But your point is very good. That presently, the climate changes,
That your point is very good. Presently, due to the climate changes,
due to the wars,
due to the wars,
Russia-Ukraine war,
Russia and Ukraine war,
and all kinds of wars are going on.
and all kinds of wars are going on.
And when news broadcasts that say world at war,
In one news broadcast, they were saying world at war.
and our present world is very disturbed.
Our present world is very disturbed.
And what's the solution?
What's the solution?
So, Srimad Bhagavatam, if people would take that to heart,
If Srimad Bhagavatam, if people would take that to heart,
that has so much transcendental bliss,
that has so much transcendental bliss,
and that would solve all the problems.
and it would solve all the other problems.
If they could chant Hare Krishna
But if they can chant Hare Krishna
and dance in ecstasy,
and dance in ecstasy
take some Krishna Prasada,
and take some Krishna Prasadam
and read some Srimad Bhagavatam,
and read Srimad Bhagavatam,
then that's our process of Bhakti Yoga.
and that's our process of Bhakti Yoga.
So, I'm anxious to see your videos.
I'm anxious to see your videos, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj. I especially took away, I mean, so many gems in your talk today, as usual. I especially liked the presentation about how when you have the Bhagavatam in your house, then Yamaraj won't come there. I think that will be highly effective in our presentation. Haribol.
Raise your hand. Who wants Yamadutta to come to your house?
So I ask you, raise your hand. Who wants Yamadutta to come to your house?
Nobody raise their hand. You know?
Nobody raise their hand.
And who wants to buy Srimad Bhagavatam?
So then you should buy Srimad Bhagavatam.
Haribol. Jai. Okay, let's show Maharaj the slides. You can put them on the screen. For your transcendental pleasure, Maharaj, this is our theme this year, Save Earth Now. It's the medicine, it's the panacea. It's the only thing that will actually work. It's what Prabhupada had in mind when he came across on the Jaladuta. He brought trunks full of Srimad Bhagavatam. He quoted the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimvatam Swakata Krishna, etc. And so this is real. It's not just sentiment, and it's not just some hobby. This is real. We have to save the earth. We are the ones delegated. We've been deputized by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Srila Prabhupada asked us to do it. We have to put our heart and soul into this. And we have to be the ones that intervened. Prabhupada said the world is on a suicide course. So we have to save them. So please, devotees, let's do this. We have to do it with full vigor. So this is in the next slide. How would,
In
yes, Maharaj.
1968,
I bought the original set of Bhagavatam that Prabhupada brought from India.
I bought the original sets of Bhagavatam that Prabhupada brought from India.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Haribol.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Sati.
Jai. Haribol.
Okay, please show the next slide. This is the Srimad Bhagavatam on the rise. So we started Bhadra campaign in 2018, and the first 2 years we see a plateau, but then during the pandemic, when things looked the most bleak and when it seemed as if it might be impossible, and as Mahatma Das, the great Mahatma, says, in the Krishna consciousness movement, we have our fun by showing how the impossible can become possible. And that's what happened. But then it continued. In 2021, we increased again by 46%. And last year, 2021, we did 35,432 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam worldwide. So now we have a 5-year plan. You'd show the next slide, please. Hello. So by 2026, 5 years hence, we will working together, develop the capacity to distribute in 2026 at least 100,000 sets of Srimad Bhagavatams globally.
Haribol.
Hari Hari Bol. So this is an image of a button that we're distributing. It's a sticker, it's a button. And we ask everybody to advocate for this, that let's do this together. And here's how we'll do it. By getting a 23% increase every year. So this year's goal over last year's at 23% increase for the planet is 43,000 sets of Bhagavatams. That keeps us on track to get to 100,000 sets by 2026. And now here, Maharaj, for your consideration are some of the maps. And these are numbers that are developing now. What you see on the bottom, the number is what represents the pledges so far that are made by the various centers around the that you see on the map. So this is for North America. The pledges so far are at 4,415. This is in Europe. The pledge is 1,539.
They haven't really stepped up yet.
What's that?
Not every country's pledging.
Not every countries are there. Many countries has to be there, Prabhuji.
I know, that's why we show the maps, because when you look at it, Maharaj, when you put your glance on it and see that somebody's not there, and then you say, where are they? That's when people start to move. So, yeah, we'd like to see every single center make some pledge. So wherever there's a blank there, we're trying to bring it to light, because where attention goes, energy flows. And we want to bring attention so that everyone can feel like they're part of the campaign. Nothing is too small. The pledges have to be something more than 0 and not less than 1.
They're having wildfires in Europe.
They are having wildfires in Europe.
The way to solve that is put on the Srimad Bhagavatam fire.
So the way to solve that is to put on the Srimad Bhagavatam fire.
Jai. Hari Hari.
Rainwater.
The rainwaters. Bring the rainwaters of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Here's what South America looks like right now. We have Argentina, and we have Chile, Peru, Colombia, Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica. But this, we feel this continent has perhaps the most potential in the world to expand because of the leadership of the devotees there, and the people's hearts are so good. I think that this could be one of the #1 country in the world for book distribution.
They're having a meeting tomorrow night.
They are having a meeting tomorrow night.
I mean, morning in the New York, India night.
Morning in New York, but in India
They
it's
like
night.
send a message to the who's he's traveling. He's like, but Bhadra or I can Guru Mangal in Ecuador is the vice chairman.
Guru Mangal in Ecuador, he's the vice chairman.
And secretary is Mahaprabhu.
I'm not sure.
Paramatma Prabhu?
Paramatma.
Paramatma.
And the secretary is Paramatma.
He'll be chairing the meeting.
He'll join the meeting.
I can send you the Latin American RGB number.
So I'll send you the Latin American RGB Zoom link, meeting link.
Okay, Maharaj, great.
It's not on the agenda.
It's not on the agenda.
Put it on the agenda.
I'll put it on the agenda.
Okay, we'll make sure that they have the map, so if you want to look at it during the meeting, you can have that. Okay, here we are in Fiji. Fiji, when they first started, they thought they couldn't distribute any sets, but now it's breaking out in Fiji. They're making pledges so far of 26 sets. And then we're coming to Australia. They're at pledges at 297. And then we have New Zealand at 101. I must say that, in New Zealand, the population is much smaller, obviously, than in many other places. The devotees go out of their way to travel to various villages to find people to take Srimad Bhagavatam. And this kind of distribution means these are people who have never even heard of Vedic culture or the concepts that we're presenting, but the devotees are so expert, they're developing ways to distribute the sets of Srimad Bhagavatams to people who have heard about it only for the first time. So this is a big breakthrough in the world that devotees are able to do this. It's very important. Okay, the next one we have is Africa. Save Africa now. In each one of the continents, it's the same theme, save your continent. And we have pledges at 296. Some of these maps aren't filled in yet because we're getting information minute by minute, and they'll become more complete as we go along, and we'll show these maps to you later, Maharaj, as they develop. Okay, coming soon, India. We're getting some information from India. They move slower because there's so many people to consider and so many areas to consider, but we're just fleshing out and talking to the leaders in India to get the specifics and the details about who's pledging what in the various places around India. But when we get that, we'll let you know also. Then this year, we're going to have a yajna on September 10th, a worldwide presentation. That is, we're going to open it to everybody in the world, invite people everywhere to participate in the Bhadra Dana Yajna. And we'll be listing all the people who have contributed towards the yajna, who have donated sets of Bhagavatams and so forth. And we'll have various speakers talking about the glories of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And at this yajna, we'll also reveal the results. Some of the results will be counted afterwards because it takes a little while, but we'll have a general idea about how well we did up to September 10th.
Where this yajna will be, Prabhuji?
Pardon me, Marj, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Where this yajna will be held?
This year, I think we're going to hold the yajna in Tirupati.
Tirupati, Srila Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, we had it planned for Naimisharanya, but there were some logistical challenges there. So Tirupati gave us the best opportunity.
Last year was at Aholam, right?
Last year it was in Ahobilam, right? No.
Yes. Naimisharanya.
Naimisharanya, Maharaj.
So we'll be going around the world and holding these types of meetings by Zoom in each continent and dealing with the various leaders from each part of the world. And most important in this endeavor is that
Malaysia.
book distribution is quantifiable. We know the reason we're doing it, but we also have to do it in an ever-increasing manner. It means we have to look at the numbers and we have to make our own numbers locally. And if everyone can consider that we're increasing we're going towards 23% this year. So if you're an individual or if you're in charge of a small unit, a community somewhere or a continent, think in terms of how to increase by at least 23% over last year.
I didn't see any thing out for Malaysia and that part of Asia.
I didn't see anything from Malaysia, Southeast Asia, Far East Asia,
Indonesia, Philippines,
Indonesia,
Hong Kong.
Philippines,
They're coming soon, Maharaj.
Canada.
It's around now that everyone's awakening and putting in their scholars. So we're connecting with the leaders there to get their pledges, and they're forthcoming. So we didn't want to show you a blank map from those places. But as soon as we get the information, we're going to circle back with you and give it to you.
Thank you very much.
Malini
Thank
Priti
you,
from-
Maharaj.
All right.
All right.
Everyone here is fired up.
Everyone here is fired up
About the
for Bhadra Purnima.
Yeah, see it?
Are you all?
Okay.
Maharaj,
They are not hearing. They are not hearing. No, we just.
I saw Deva Prabhu.
I saw Bhima Prabhu.
yes, Bhima Prabhu spoke first today, and he told about Srila Vyasadeva feeling incomplete until he got the instruction to bring out the Srimad Bhagavatam. And he also said that although we may be doing everything right, following the regular principles, chanting 16 rounds, we may not feel transcendently normal until we get involved in the Sankirtan of distributing Srimad Bhagavatam. And everyone very much appreciated his points.
He's an Indian DVT year out for the Bhagavatam distribution.
Bhima Prabhu is the Indian VBT is geared up for the Bhagavatam distribution.
I'm your servant, Maharaj.
I am your servant, Maharaj.
Here, the talk ended and then the rain came.
Here your talk ended and the rain came.
Hari Hari.
Auspicious beginning.
Yes.
Maharaj, thank you very much for gracing this event. We depend on your glance and your words of encouragement to rise to the occasion.
Send me some positive things I will put up on the social media.
So please send me these posters and all these things. I can put it up in the social media.
Yes, Maharaj.
Save Earth now.
Haribol. Gaur Premanande Haribol. Holiness Jaipataka Swami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
All glories to Grantaraj Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All very nice to see all of you. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai. Haribol.
Jai. Bhima Prabhu Ki Jai. Hari Hari Bol.
And now,
Recording stopped.
dear devotees, now we'll have a few short presentations from a few more devotees, and I think we also have a short intermission. Is that right, Shamahini?
Yes,
Or quiz?
Prabhu. We were thinking we could do a video for the intermission, if that's okay.
Okay, how long is the video?
1.5 minutes.
Everyone gets a 1.5 minute break, and then we're coming back with some powerful presentations from India, from Canada, from Europe, Africa, and Russia. So while you take your break, here's a short video. Is that right? Yes. Please Please accept my most humble obeisances, Okoish to Srila Prabhupada. We're starting again with the distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam, culminating at Bhadra Purnima. This is 2022. And we can see for ourselves now how Kali Yuga is advancing. There is a solution, and we hold it in our hands. Srila Prabhupada left it for us. Lord Krishna left it for us. Krishna Swadamo Pagate Dharma Ganadi Visaha. If we want to see peace in the world, dharma enacted all over the world, Srimad Bhagavatam is the remedy. We can't solve problems by having meetings in Congress or, as Prabhupada pointed out many times, nations coming together to discuss at the same level that the problems are caused, and that is consciousness affected by the lower modes of nature. There's only one solution. It's Srimad Bhagavatam. Namanyanantasya yashonki taniyat shrimanti gayanti grinanti sahatva. Because it contains the pure vibration of the spiritual world, and it can be heard by people, and they can be transformed. It starts with one person, and then it spreads to a family, and then to a community, and then to the world. We can do this, and it's the only hope for the world, is to bring people the spiritual vibration. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the devotees are like doctors, Vaidjas, and they carry with them their little black bags, my words. But within them they have hymns and instructions. We have those things. We have the perfect medicine. It's the Srimad Bhagavatam. It can transform the world. I hope you had a nice break. And we're going to ask Baladev Prabhu to speak now from India and tell us what things are looking like there.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Baladev Prabhu.
Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. My humble obeisance to all the devotees who are assembled today for this great program, and especially humble obeisances to His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, and humble obeisances to also His Grace Bhima Prabhu, and if His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj is also there, my humble obeisances to him also. Thank you, Prabhu, for inviting us here. On behalf of the ISKCON ICC India Continental Committee, the Chairman Sahadev Prabhu and the Book Distribution Coordinator Praneshwar Prabhu, I am here, Baldev Das from ICC Bhadra Purnima convener here. So, would like to give some presentation as ordered by Vaisheshika Prabhu. So, Anukul Seva Prabhu, can you just share the India map there? So, thank you, Prabhu. So, this is the statistics of last year. Last year we did 22,366 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. So, you all see this here. India is divided into 4 zones: north, west, east, and south. So, this is the figure of number of sets, Bhagavatam sets, which went out last year. And as Vaisheshik Prabhu has inspired all of us to increase by 23%. So, this year we are doing 30,000 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. So thank you, Anukul Prabhu, for this picture. Then can we go to the next one, the poster, Bhadra Champions poster? Yeah, thank you, this one. So this is a poster which we have sent across all our centers in India. We have a very big number of centers to reach even to grassroots levels in villages and also district levels. So this is a poster which has gone to everyone of the Bhadra Purnima day, 10 September 2022, and we have asked all of them to participate and give their pledges, and we have kept exciting prizes in India for every one of them devotees. In fact, last year we had kept prizes, a special ceremony called as Bhadra Purnima Awards India, and we gave prizes to the first three big temples, the first three medium temples, the first three small temples, and also the first three extension center and first three preaching centers. So last year the response was too good. So this time we thought we should go more grassroots levels. So we added more prizes now. Now we are even reaching out the outposts. That means small centers which are about to begin. There are few devotees there. So this time there is also a prize for first three outpost centers. And then we got another idea that we will also reach out to a Sankirtan buses which goes all over the India to distribute books. So now this time we also prizes for the first three Sankirtan buses. So we are trying to reach more and more devotees, more and more small centers, so that they get enthused and they can also participate in this Bhadra Purnima campaign. I would like to first thank and congratulate Bhima Prabhu, who is the backbone for Bhadra champions. He is the one who made this all happen. We began in a very small way, but whatever we achieve today is all the inspiration of Bhima Prabhu. And I would not lag behind to congratulate and thank His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, who is really inspiring all over the world. And his team is such a wonderful team, how they wonderfully follow up, we ask for the pledges, and it keeps everyone keep going. We need devotees to push us, right? Ours is a pushing movement, as we say. So we push each other, and in this way we also please Srila Prabhupada by distributing his books. So this year we have decided to have a very wonderful prize. You can see the trophy which we have on the right hand side on the screen. This is a trophy which we're going to make. It's really very, last year we also got trophies, but they were all very kind of not very costly, but this is a very costly trophy. What is the plan is that the first prize for the big temple, the first prize for medium, small temples, preaching centers, exchange centers, outpost, this all 6 categories will get this prize in different sizes, and they're going to be very costly. And what we're thinking is this prize will rotate every year, just like we have someone quoted that sometimes in some competitions there are awards which goes to the next year's winner, right? So like Miss Universe or Mr. Universe, they share the award goes to the next winner. So this is a very costly prize. Something around 40,000 Indian rupees will be the cost of one prize, and this will be given to the main top center this time, temple, the big temple and the medium and small temples. And the next year whoever wins, then this prize will go to them. So meanwhile the certificates are also there and also other prizes are also been given here. So what is happening is that in our centers which we have in India, in those centers, since we have a very big range of devotees to cover all over India, like I was told that in the Western Division we have 128 centers, temples, preaching centers, exchange centers, outpost. Then we have in the Eastern Division 36. In Southern Division we have again 100 centers, and then in the Northern Division we have 125. So we have begun the process of reaching all of them. We were trying to reach them in the month of Gaur Purnima after that, when the conch shell for Save the Earth now began. However, devotees in India were very busy with a lot of other activities, and they said that now it will be very difficult to start immediately. So we sought the permission of Bhima Prabhu and Vaisheshika Prabhu, and then we blew our conch shell of Bhadra Purnima just after the Rath Yatra. So just last this 18th of July, we had the first Bhadra Purnima inspiration program where all senior leaders of India joined and they gave inspiration talks. And after that, we rolled out the pledges. And now slowly the pledges are, I'm sorry, pledges are now, the count of pledges are coming in. And within a week's time, when our deadline is there, we'll be able to get all the pledges. But so far, so good. Everyone in India has agreed for 30,000 target which is given to us, the 23% increase, and we feel that when pledges comes, we will be actually more than 30,000. But at least from our side, the India committee, 30,000 Bhagavatam sets will be achievable by the mercy of Vaisheshika Prabhu and Bhima Prabhu. So this is from our side. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Well done, Baladev Prabhu. amazing. So organized. The fourth law of book distribution is organization, and I think you're the incarnation of that. You and your team is so brilliant, and working with the vision of Bhima Prabhu to bring out the nectar from that amazing continent, which is Bharat. Thank you very much for your leadership and for your inspiration. We couldn't do it, obviously, we couldn't do it without you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Gaur Premanande Haribol. And now we're going to swing right over to Europe, which is poised for a huge increase. We looked at the numbers all the way back to 1982, and we can see that Europe has huge, huge potential. And it's smoldering now, but getting ready to break into blazing fire. And one of the leaders there that's helping that to happen, who's giving his life and soul to making sure that fire breaks out in Europe, the transcendental fire of Sankirtan, is Divyanand Prabhu. We happen to have him on the call right now, and he's going to give us a brief update in Europe and how Europe's going to excel this year.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm sorry I'm not able to switch on my video. I'm in the car just driving back from a retreat in Kent with His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, where we had the privilege of over 2 days to hear and chant, and mostly it was around Bhagavatam and distribution of Bhagavatam. Every class Bhakti Vikas Maharaj gave was concluded with the idea of trying to expand the distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam set. And today, this morning in the class, he read out your beautiful letter which you wrote to him, and encouraging the devotees to more and more participate. And after that, Maharaj ordered everyone to, whatever Bhagavatams we had, which was about 15 set, we were able to distribute them today actually on the retreat. So that was a great kind of a start we've been having. Europe, I'm still waiting for a few more updates, but from UK, we are doing something very interesting this year. We are doing, for the first time, a 7-day Srimad Bhagavatam tour with His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj, or who was earlier known as Sutapa Prabhu. And we are traveling to the various parts of UK every day in a different city and putting up a show with a drama, a katha, either in the local language, if depending on the community, and then presenting to them the idea about the Bhagavatam and trying to distribute Bhagavatam as we travel around on the 7-day Bhagavatam tour. Next weekend, we are really blessed to have His Grace Radhika Raman Prabhu, who we are specially flying in for 3 days of Katha on Srimad Bhagavatam and the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam at the Haveli at Bhaktivedanta Manor, where many devotees and many people across UK are joining that event. So that we are really looking forward to. And all the other temples like Germany, as we saw in the map, have now sent in their pledges. Some of them have actually already reached 50% goal, but I'm waiting for a full report. And I think we are also working for 2 new cities who I'm waiting to confirm their pledges as well in Europe at the moment. So that is the quick update we have from our side, Maharaj. The energy has only started to build up now, especially as the leaders have started to heavily advocate them. And we are also expecting His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj to arrive in the last week of August. So we are hoping we will be able to take an advantage then as well of Maharaj's presence to advocate Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's it from our side, Maharaj, from Europe. More to come in the next call. Thank you so much.
That was a really good report, Divyanand Prabhu. And we're looking forward to hearing about the building energy in Europe. It's huge potential there. Everybody knows it. And thank you very much for your diligent efforts in expanding that enthusiasm all over Europe.
Thank you.
Now we're going to swing over to Ambarishi Maharaj, whom we've been feeling great separation from for a long time. And now we get to again feast our eyes by seeing His Holiness. Welcome, Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining. Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Here in Russia, we have special situations this year, but devotees are very eager to participate. So everywhere I'm traveling to, I'm carrying in my car 2, 3, 4, 5 Bhagavatam sets. So at least every Sunday, Bhagavatam sets are being distributed. And also we have big internet shop here in Russia. It's called Wild Berries, and devotees are especially advertising Bhagavad Gita, and also they are distributing Bhagavatam sets. So it's like a big project to distribute Bhagavatam sets on internet, and it may bring unexpected result. And also we have different festivals here in Russia, regional festivals, national festivals. So this year national festival is on the second week of September, so it will end on Bhadra Purnima, and we will try to distribute Bhagavatam sets on this festival. We will try to inspire all devotees to take part in this Bhadra campaign. Our goal for this year is 150 Bhagavatam sets, but we will try to increase. If all the devotees will bless devotees in Russia to increase, so we will try to do more. Hare Krishna.
Jai Maharaj, thank you very much for giving us inspiration from Russia in unusual circumstances. The Russian devotees are known for rising to the occasion and achieving great things despite whatever's going on. And we thank you very much for your spirit that you bring to us always, and our deepest respects and obeisances to all the devotees in Russia. And praying that the Russian Yatra may smash their goals this year in distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Gaur Premanande Haribol. Okay, and now we're going to swing over to Africa, and Tirumala Devi Dasi is here to give us a report on what's happening on the African continent, which is in the beginning stages of working to beat India, actually.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So last year, the African continent did 241 Srimad Bhagavatam sets, and this year we're looking at a minimum of 296. And the devotees are very fired up. There are various different plans strategies that devotees are working on. And we're having several different meetings with the leaders across Africa. We had one just last Friday with the Southern African leaders. And we're going to have another one coming up in a few days' time with East Africa and West Africa to see how we can get as many of the different regions within Africa involved. So yeah, plans are being made and the devotees are doing a lot.
Thank you very much for your report, Tirumala Devi. This planning is very, very powerful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the one who fills in the plan, but we have to make it. Once Chaitanya Charana Prabhu told me that you can always edit a bad page, but you can never edit a blank page. And the same goes for planning. Any plan's better than no plan. And when the very wise devotees come together and make well-considered plans for expanding book distribution, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always responds. Keep that in mind. He always responds. So feel free to make bold goals that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come and help us achieve. Thank you very much. Keep up the great work in Africa. And now we're coming to our friends to the north, friendliest place on earth, Canada. And we have Anutama Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my
Hare
humble
Krishna.
obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So in Canada, we have a lot of exciting things going on. It's the opening up of everything and a lot of Rath Yatras for the first time in a couple of years. So that has increased Bhagavatam sets going out from coast to coast. We have Halifax, which is on the east coast of Canada, and they made the very first order from the BBT, and they're on the map now, and we'll have sets going out there. And I'm personally going to each and every one of these centers. I'll be going to Calgary in a couple of weeks. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj is here in Canada, in Toronto right now. And we're going to Vancouver, and whenever he's in Canada, there's always an increase in Bhagavatam sets going out. So he will be definitely advocating for that. And personally connecting with all the devotees and leaders across the country. And our goal is around 450 Srimad Bhagavatam sets, but I would like to hit the 500 number. It's a nice, wholesome number for us. So we're just humbly requesting everyone's prayers and well wishes so that we can hit that number. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nutra Prabhu, thank you very much for your report. And all the devotees here, I'm sure, are praying that you may smash your goal. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And now we're swinging over to North America, and we have Nandini Kishori, the intrepid Nandini Kishori, who will be giving us a quick report, how it's looking here. If you're speaking, you're on mute. Shalmahini, is she here?
Prabhu, I think she got dropped off, so we can move on. And yes, Prabhu. If she comes back, I'll let you know.
Okay. So next, Shalmahini.
Prabhu, we can have a short update from South America.
Yes.
From Premi Rupa Madhava Prabhu and Premi Rupini Madhavi Mataji.
Okay. Now we're going over the continent, South America.
América. Y ahí estamos. Un segundo.
We can hear you're audible now.
Haribol.
Hari, we can hear you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so yeah, we had some conversation. Hare Krishna. We have some conversation. Yeah, with the local leaders. We have a conversation with Aravinda Prabhu here, and we are planning to do many things. And we are very, very happy. Also, we have some conversations with devotees there in ISB, Malini Devidasi, and yeah, we hope that we will do something big here in South America, working as a team. Thank you.
Jai, thank you very much. Everyone, important to look at numbers as closely as possible. In analyzing numbers, we get a lot of power. Look at what the center has done in the past, and then calculate what you're going to do to pinpoint accuracy, because it's once you have clear goals, once everybody knows what it is they're going for, then that's when the energy starts to come in, because you can't hit a target you can't see. So now we're going to go into North America. We have Nandini Kishori.
Dandot Maharaj, Dandot all devotees. Haribol. So our Bhadra campaign is in full swing. Our goal is, target is almost 5,000 sets, and ISV alone is doing 2,500, their target. And a lot of other centers like Naperville is excited, 135, Baltimore is 125, and so many other centers. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve as a coordinator and sending your goals. I also request other few centers to send their goals. And it's really great to see the momentum. And it's really good to see if somebody has need little more push or little more reminders to help them do that, and keep Bhadra in focus and keep marching towards having every household a Bhadra set and to save the earth now. Thank you so much, Vaisheshika Prabhu. Thank you for everybody else present here. Thank you.
Gaur Premanande Haribol. Thank you, Nandini Kushori, for your report. Dear devotees, today has been a historic event. We've gathered together to make plans to distribute the sacred Srimad Bhagavatam, the most important literature in the world, for it is an incarnation of Krishna himself. It is the means by which Prabhupada personally stated that we will save the world. Books change society, and the pervasiveness of those books matters. It's a planet on fire right now, and this Srimad Bhagavatam is the cooling water of the spiritual world that will flow in. It will quench people's thirst. It will put out the fire of the blazing material existence. How will we do this? How will we achieve our goals? It's by the intensity of our prayers and by planning very carefully. Don't be afraid to write a number on paper and look at it and sweat. You have to sweat. You have to put the number down. You have to write it and put it up for people and say, this is what we're going for. Don't be afraid, because once you do it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy will come flowing in. And once you put it down and you start to sweat, then the next thing you have to do is pray harder than you've ever prayed before. Pray hard. And here's what Prabhupada did. This was his method. He was so bold, so audacious, that he printed Srimad Bhagavatam himself in India. And then he put it on a boat. He arranged to have it put in trunks. He did all that himself. He got on the boat. He went across the ocean. And as he's on the Jaladuta with the Bhagavatam, heading for a continent that was unknown to him, that is, unknown culture, didn't know where he was going to stay, and what the response would be, he wrote the following: what should I do to help them understand this message of the Bhagavatam? I need your benediction. I need your merciful benediction so that I can convince them, for I am insignificant, fallen, and unqualified. I have no power to do so on my own. So, dear devotees, we don't know how this is going to happen. We just know that it is going to happen. And this is life. We have to make a commitment. We have to make a stand. We have to save Earth now and make a goal, write it down, be clear, and advocate for it to everybody. It can be a gentle advocation, but it has to go out to the world that this is the way that we're going to save ourselves, save the earth. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Radha Govinda, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, if you so desire, please bless our global team of sincere devotees on every continent of the world, that we may come together in purpose, support one another, so that we can do the work of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to save the world from its suicide course by inundating the planet with the Srimad Bhagavatam. Let us be precise in our goals. Let us work diligently and with great concentration to achieve our goals for your pleasure. Please give us the resources and the intelligence to smash our goals this year and achieve at least a 23% increase on the globe of the distribution of Srimad Bhagavatams over last year. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer in whole or in part. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kalpadurvishya, Kripasinevich, Itanam Bhavnibhyo,
Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada.
Do you